Well, I mean, we're definitely gonna do more, because I don't want to be done yet. Alright. Approach of the Second Sun is not playable, right? This like costs way too much mana, and then you have to draw so many more cards. It's very good. I mean, I'm willing to believe Creative Outburst isn't good, but there's like a Cogwork Archivist. Are we really supposed to be taking Approach over Cogwork Arcanist? It's only 2 mana? The part that has me kind of concerned is that, like, it's hard to redraw it, isn't it? Turbo but constructed. I'm fairly certain that would just turn into turn 1. Whoever wins the dice roll wins. Spam search. Yeah, I guess we can take a bunch of Introduction to Prophecies. Alright. We're here for a good time, not to win. We'll see if we can make Approach work. We definitely take Letter of Acceptance. Environmental Sciences, once again, we'll see you one day. Not today, but eventually. But I need that white color fixing quite badly. Whirlwind Denial. I guess that is sort of a counterspell. Spell Satchel. That's terrible. It doesn't even color fix, huh? I feel like the fact that Spell Satchel doesn't make mana the turn you play it makes it kind of weak, right? And it doesn't fix any colors. Yeah. I'm kind of tempted to say Whirlwind Denial might be the best card here, even though I don't actually think that I'm excited about that. Yeah, Whirlwind Denial is sort of a hard counter. Maybe that's better than Memory Lapse, even. Alright. Explosive Welcome. That's just so expensive, though. That costs, like, how much mana? 3? 3 mana. Jeez. There's Elemental Masterpiece. That's probably what we're going to take. I think that's slightly better than Bury in Books. It's not exactly the Approach plan, but it is 2 creatures. Here we have Biblioplex Assistant is sort of a 0-drop, but everything else looks unplayable, and there's a copy of Elemental Masterpiece, so I guess I'm going to take Elemental Masterpiece. Test of Talents. That's actually good, right? Fractal Summoning. Test of Talents versus Fractal Summoning. What do we think? Test is great. I believe Test is great. Test is very good. Is it better than Whirlwind Denial? I feel like... What part of this is excellent, though? It also doesn't counter Cogwork Archivists. I'm willing to believe that it's better than Fractal Summoning, but I don't know that I necessarily believe it's, like, good. I don't know that you've convinced me that, like, Elemental Masterpiece is such a amazing card that it's worth Test of Talentsing multiples. No, here we just take Introduction to Prophecy, right? It's just a 0 mana card. Cogwork Archivist and Negate, probably fine, but Introduction to Prophecy is busted. Here, I don't think any of these are terribly likely to make it into the deck. Waterfall Aerialist, the way those games played out, doesn't look like it's a card that's particularly decent. But Elemental Summoning I can see being a card that we kind of want to get from our sideboard if we end up with any Learn cards. So, alright. And then we just take Cogwork Archivist, because that's a good card. And now... Alright, first day of class was, like, almost playable with Elemental Masterpieces, so I'm not terribly against that. None of these are playable. Put a Spell Satchel on our board. I agree that Ward 2 is really nice, but the body, like, the stats didn't seem useful at all. None of these are playable. Yeah, Enthusiastic Studies may be almost playable. Resculpt is maybe almost playable. I should probably take Prismari Campus, because trying to force the bots out of blue-red. But I don't think I actually play Prismari Campus. Cody... No, doesn't... You have to have 4 mana to make Cody fixed colors. So that's a no. We're just going to take the Letter of Acceptance. It's got to be Letter over Cody, right? Cody's kind of bad? Okay, I'm willing to believe that. Too many non-creature... Or too many creature spells, rather, that you actually want to cast. Or... permanents. That's what we want to do. We want to cast Letter of Acceptance. Cody's not a Mox. Poor Cody. That is true. It's not a Mox. But here, we get to take Introduction to Prophecy. That seems good. So we're going to do that. Nothing else is actually playable, right? What do you do? Yeah, no, nothing. That costs way too many colored manas. We're just going to take the 0 mana spell and be happy. No, I don't think we take Grape Shot. We have none of the tutor spells. I guess Biblioplex Assistant isn't terrible if it's putting Introduction to Prophecy back on top of our deck to find Approach of the Second Sun faster the second time, but also Introduction to Annihilation's probably good. Assistant and Annihilation are both interesting in different ways. I don't know that there's terribly many learn cards that I actually want to include in my deck. I mean, we have Enthusiastic Study in first day of class. And I guess Introduction to Annihilation is probably the best lesson. A lot better than Elemental Summoning. Biblioplex Assistant I don't think is good. But maybe it's good enough. Alright, you've sold me on the idea that we can Introduction to Annihilation our own creature to get to approach faster. Very well. Here we take a Letter of Acceptance. Ooh, we're already at more Letters of Acceptance than we had last time? Nice. Annihilation, I think, is a sideboard card, because unlike every other lesson, this is a card that you're not necessarily excited about casting for 0. Mentor's Guidance is good. Oh, yeah, we already passed that, right? Because there was a Letter of Acceptance. Are any of these playable? Three of Outburst isn't, right? It's like 4 mana. Deals 5 damage to a target. Look at the top 5. I guess maybe it's good with Approach. I don't want to play it, so I'm going to put it in the deck and then cut it. Oh, super tick solve the equation, right? Yeah, 100%. Solve the equation. Teach by example. Whenever you cast your next instant, copy that. Does not cast the copy, so you can't approach teach. Yeah, just definitely solve the equation. Definitely. Nothing playable here. Spell set. No, let's cut colors. Nothing playable here. Take Prismari Command or Campus, cut colors. We could put Spirit Summoning. I'm literally never going to fetch Spirit Summoning when I can get a 4/4 instead. Alright, cut Prismari Campuses. Fuming Effigy is like almost technically playable if we're desperate for playables. Hopefully we don't end up desperate for playables. Dust Speaker, technically playable if we're desperate. Okay, Pillared Up Warden I'm actually excited about. Arcane Subtraction I don't want to play, but I guess it is a learn card. None of you are playable. Spectacle Mage? This is awful. But I guess it does technically discount Approach of the Second Sun. Neither of these is playable, though. Battleseer over Dustseeker? I don't know. I mean, both are bad, but Dust Speaker at least draws 2 when you throw it away. Ugh, bad pack. There's an expanded anatomy for the sideboard, which could be worse. Is there any argument that we should be splashing Eureka Moment? We do have 3 letters of acceptance. It's true. It's true. It's good? Okay, I'm willing to believe it's good. I want to believe that playing Teamer is right. Okay, Rowan, what do you two do? I mean, we're pretty much always casting Will, right? Draw 2 cards for 1 mana? That seems good, right? Yeah, mostly this is 1 mana draw 2, which isn't good, but it does make approach cost less, I guess. Cast Pot of Greed? No, Pot of Greed costs 0 mana. Will wishes they were Pot of Greed. That said, is there anything else in the pack that's even interesting? No, not really, huh? Okay. 1 mana divination it is. Stone Rain. There's no way, right? I mean, maybe. I don't really have any way to copy it. I guess Stone Rain isn't bad. I don't think Stone Rain is good, but it isn't bad. Nothing else is playable, and we do need more cards that are actually playable. Here it just definitely has to be practical research, right? We don't hate card draw? Don't hate card draw. Our meme count is plummeting? We're playing Approach! And Stone Rain and Rowan. I couldn't be memeing harder if I was trying. And I am trying! Burying books is... don't we have an expanded anatomy? No, we don't have an expanded anatomy. Bury is fine, but like, it's 1 mana remove something. I guess, I mean, that could be worse. It's just not great against when the opponents are playing Elemental Masterpiece, I guess. Arden helps Dig to approach, but like you have to be able to attack with it to do that, and that's... I mean, I guess that's possible. It's just not easy. Yeah, I think I'm willing to take Burying Books over Expanded Anatomy in this spot. Strategic Planning is... 1 mana is so much to spend on Strategic Planning. But it does dig faster to approach if we're truly desperate for approach to be our win con. I really wish that I had more copies of Solve the Equation right now, but I can't help but think that's probably better than Expanded Anatomy. I don't know, Expanded Anatomy is still like the best lesson. And we do have First Day of Class and Enthusiastic Study. No, I think it's Expanded Anatomy for the sideboard. I think that's a pretty big improvement. Serpentine Curve is a really great card. How does that work? Don't you have to, like, play cards before it for it to do something? Heated Debate. Yeah, that's a removal spell. Drill the Possibilities really slow. It's a 1 mana 11/11 on like turn 4? Yeah, but you have to like get to turn 4 before the game's over. Right? Kind of tempted to take the Thrill of Possibility as a card draw spell here. I definitely need more playable cards. And I don't know if Heated Debate is like excellent. Like Thrill is bad, but it's playably bad. Here we're going to take a letter of acceptance because it's letter of acceptance. I'm kind of disappointed that we ended up with the other expanded anatomy because whatever we chose to take it over I think was better than heated debate. I don't think I need another expanded anatomy. I mean, I guess being able to go first day of class and enthusiastic study double expanded anatomy is something. So we're currently at 21 cards in the deck. I need like 4 more playables. Does my sideboard include anything playable? No, not really. I think that means I can't pick expanded anatomy because heated debate is at least playable. Okay. Well, I think I've already got an Arcane Subtraction I don't want to play, but... Fuming Effigy is bad. I get the feeling this is going to be a worse deck than last time. Mascot Interceptions may be good. I don't know if we're necessarily going to be doing a lot of attacking, but I guess we could do attacking. Oh wow, I'm not even going to be able to cut Creative Outburst, am I? That's disappointing. But I think that's better than any of these. Okay, enthusiastic study I'm actually enthusiastic about. Everything else here is bad. Okay. So we have 4 letters of acceptance, which is decent. Rarity Reigns, thanks for the follow. Glad you're enjoying the stream. So I want 2 cuts. Fuming Effigy seems pretty bad. Arcane Subtraction isn't great. Thrill of Possibility isn't great. Battle Seer isn't great. Dust Speaker's probably better than these cards. I don't want to put an Introduction to Prophecy in the board because I would rather draw an Introduction to Prophecy than any learn card in my entire deck. I feel like it makes opening hands so much stronger. Yeah, alright. Definitely willing to get rid of Arcane Subtraction. I guess you don't need to put mana into Battle Seer to scry. But I think Dust Speaker's probably better. I really wish I had like 2 more copies of Solve the Equation, though. Alright, so we only have 4 copies of Letter of Acceptance to cast Approach. That's kind of risky, isn't it? Oh well. So we have, what, 3 learn cards? Is that right? Yeah. Okay. I'm just saying, there's going to be games we draw Approach of the Second Sun where we don't have a white source. And that's going to make me sad when that happens. Because I'm not going to include any blue lands. Or, no, any white lands. We're definitely not living that life. I guess I probably want more red sources than blue sources here. Just barely. Yeah, I think we do want more red sources. I've also got this Eureka moment that I can only cast off Letter of Acceptance too. To be fair, if we don't draw a letter, we're probably going to lose anyway. You know what? I'm willing to accept that logic. I feel like this Eureka moment's going to be hard to cast, but we'll have to live with that. The idea that, Outburst actually making a treasure is kind of decent. I guess masterpieces make treasures too. Okay, so we have some more fixing if needs be. Oh no, we're short on red sources to do this. Dang. Oh well. This is probably still a keep. What is the turbo of turbo drafts? Just time for picks and for something else. Oh, you're about to find out. For starters, I'm going to play these Moxes. And then I'm going to play this first day of class. And we're going to get expanded anatomy. We're going to play this Dust Speaker with haste. So the turbo part of Turbo Draft is that everything costs 5 generic mana less. Alright, let's attack with Dust Speaker and draw 2. It is a much better creature when it gets to attack with haste. This is true. So we're not going to test the talents anything, but we do Introduction to Prophecy. See what that finds. Oh, okay, I like that. Do I want Solve the Equation? I probably want Solve the Equation. I think? Maybe? Yeah, probably. Alright. So we get our red source, and we get to play Fuming Effigy. Which means, with Enthusiastic Study, we have lethal next turn if the opponent doesn't interact. You know, for those weird scenarios in which the opponent doesn't have anything that interacts. Our approach deck is going great. Yeah, we're definitely going to win with this approach of the Second Sun that we tutor off of Solve the Equation, for sure. Thoughts on looting a land instead of getting a lesson? I feel like giving Ardent Dust Speaker 2 more power was a pretty big deal there, because it also makes Ardent Dust Speaker, like, a decent size to rumble with my opponent playing 4/4s or something, as opposed to being a 3/4. I guess it would have been a 4/5, but, like, I don't know. We're doing a lot of damage to them if we make the Ardent Dust Speaker bigger, right? Okay, so I get to tutor Solve the Equation. If we draw Approach of the Second Sun, we're 1 mana off winning. It's a bummer. No, my opponent made 4/4s. No, my opponent made 5/5s. No. Oh. So good. Alright. What are we solving for here then? Since we didn't draw anything good. Mascot, steal a 5/5. I guess we could just win the game? I think I'm just going to win the game then. It works. It's a little boring, but, you know. But that was turn 2, right? Turn 2 lethal through my opponent making 2 blockers and removing my turn 1 creature that I buffed. Alright. I'm sold on the idea of 1 mana Actor Trees and being good. That was sort of approach. Sort of. Oh, hey, this is legitimately a 4-color list, isn't it? We did look at approach. We considered putting approach in our hand. That is true. Ugh. This hand's garbage. Okay, this is better. We're going to keep this. We're probably... Is Creative Outburst better than Thrill of Possibility? Costs like 4 mana. That's basically infinity mana. I think we get rid of Creative Outburst. Letter of Acceptance from our opponent. Scary. Not a blue-red land. Whenever you gain life, put a 1/1 counter on Blood Researcher. Okay. Introduction of Prophecy. Both of these cards seem pretty bad, right? They don't really do anything. It's a 1-mana draw 2 and a 1-mana 4/5. I feel like I'm supposed to get rid of those and look for Letters of Acceptance. Elemental Masterpiece isn't terrible. I could, like, play that this turn, I guess. But I could also play Practical Research and try to find Letters of Acceptance. Wow, we whiffed real bad. That's unfortunate. I'm not excited about Thrill of Possibility. But am I less excited about Heated Debate? I'm probably less excited about Heated Debate. I can't believe we totally whiffed on Letters of Acceptance. Dang. Sure, Heated Debate kills my opponent's creature, but don't I just not care about my opponent's creature? Like, I don't think there's a reasonable way for them to gain enough life that that Blood Researcher is relevant. I'll care less when it's dead, but, like, think about how much Thrill of Possibility... Also, it totally wouldn't have killed the Blood Researcher. But Thrill of Possibility gets us closer to Approach of the Second Sun. Ooh. Alright. What are you solving for, opponent? But, like, that's actually the problem with Heated Debate, right? If something dies to Heated Debate, it's usually not a creature you care about. It kills a 4/4, but how often are you worried about a single 4/4? Yeah, but I don't want to be killing 1/2 of my opponent's Elemental Masterpiece. That sounds like losing. I don't think I have lethal here with Mascot Interception, unfortunately. I think I'm probably just playing Elemental Masterpiece and then Whirlwind Denying their Aether Helix. Oh, wait, hold on. I guess I leave up Letter of Acceptance because on the off chance that they don't play Aether Helix, I want to cast Thrill of Possibility. Okay, or, well, they can discard Outburst. Sure. What for? I don't know. Do they still need to use the treasure to cast the Aether Helix? Oh, they need a permanent in the yard. Oh, it's not up to 1. Well, I'm glad that I left the Letter of Acceptance up. So now we get to discard this Fuming Effigy. Draw 2. Land. Bummer. Test of Talents? That's okay. Do we have lethal? Mascot Interception, 7 power, 7 plus 8 is 15, plus another 5 is 20. I think I only have 20 damage here. But yeah, I guess we probably should be exiling their Blood Researcher then. We get to hold up like 2 counter spells. Ooh, I could also hit the letter of acceptance, though. But that's probably wrong. Because I'm the one who gets to draw the card this way. Ugh. Wow, that's so many lands. Yuck. Okay, we're just going to hold up 2 counterspells. I'm going to choose to counter that Elemental Masterpiece. I don't think any of those cards are relevant. Alright. Well, that was a pretty underwhelming hand, but it did get there.